What's going on, guys? Minicall here, coming at you with a new video with the new update in regards to the Battle Pass system, as well as just a real-time PvP or the real-time arena, and just kind of my thoughts so far with how that system's working, and just kind of going over it. So first and foremost, looking at this Battle Pass system, I think kind of one of the big questions that are kind of going on right now is whether or not it is worth the $20 to do the battle pass versus doing the free battle pass or just the free regular one. And I mean, there's obviously advantages to both of them. With the free one, you're going to get a ton of purple gear, a lot of orange gear. Some in this particular season, we're getting Baron Zemo shards, as well as some just a lot of purple gear on the free end. When you move on up to the actual battle pass, you start looking at a lot more of the oranges. And while the oranges are available in the free area, you're certainly getting a lot more. And towards the end of it, you're actually also getting some of these new Gear 15 pieces. So, it just, I guess, kind of comes down to, whether or not you spend on the game or whether you don't. And certainly with the Battle Pass, I mean, you can definitely wait and, see where you are. If at maybe the 20-day mark, you've unlocked a lot of these things and you think $20 might be worth all of these extra items, certainly by all means. Just from the shards alone from Baron Zemo, I think in the email we got, I think it says we get like 45 extra shards by going in the premium route. Typically, a character like Baron Zemo, normally you would get 50 shards for, typically they normally do them for about $30. So that in itself kind of makes it worth it to me. If you're a person that typically spends a little bit on a character, definitely worth that. You are also getting these 500 power cores at the very beginning, which that is definitely, I'd say that's worth probably maybe about $8 or so, or maybe $7, $8. And then looking at all of this, the orange gear, it certainly adds up, especially if you were to buy it. And then at the very end of this, you are also getting 5 of the gold promotion or elite star credits, which, I mean, those have been valued kind of all over the place when Scopely is actually selling them. So again, I guess it really comes down ultimately to your play style. I think for the time being, I am just doing the battle pass on Khaleesi, and I'll kind of see how things are kind of going with Mini Call and see if it's really worth the $20 a month. I think definitely I'll also probably be doing it on Dracarys. So I'm, I guess, hypothetically looking at whether or not it's worth $60 a month for me. Obviously, with one account, $20 I don't think is too big of a spend. Based off of the rewards. Now, something that actually kind of took me by surprise, and I was a little surprised when I actually first logged in and I was looking at the system, is that oddly enough, everyone does not have the same daily and even weekly objectives. Um, and the only reason I really kind of came to this conclusion was I was just kind of looking at my different accounts, and everything was a little different. So that was kind of surprising. Another thing that's kind of a little bit of a weird thing is that people are also having either daily or weekly things for characters they don't actually have. So that can be, a little bit of a drawback. When I first started doing this on Mini Call, I was really kind of getting overpowered and was not able to really do anything because I was going up against like 400k teams. It does seem like now things have gotten kind of a little bit more balanced. So, kind of a couple things to look at is when you are going through these objectives, if you haven't already noticed, there are these little filter options. So, I mean, you could actually just go in and filter. So, like right now, I am trying to clear the Black Widow one. So, boom, I can pop Black Widow on my team. And then also trying to do the mutant one a little bit too. So I'm going to throw Emma here. and then I'm gonna do those are my last two kind of like well, actually, Black Widow is my last daily one. I do still have to do the Guardian one, which I'm working on that. Actually, let's go ahead. We're gonna switch this up. Let's just go ahead and do the Guardians. They were really weak. So when I was first getting matched up, you can see here this is a little 9K team, and I was getting matched up with like 400K. So I'm curious what this will match me with. So again, this really is not a fair match. This part does make it not as fun because essentially in order to clear this daily milestone, I basically have to get 30 attacks off with my baby guardians team, and going up against someone that is like 260k, I'm basically only getting one attack per fight. So essentially I would have to do 30 PvP fights. So I mean that part, that's a little bit of a drawback. I'm certainly having a lot more fun with like the less strict requirements when it's just like villains, and I'm actually able to build a full team, kind of more of something I've worked with. Um, but that's basically how you can go. You'll see I got one ability point for that. So when you are looking at these objectives, some things to keep in mind. Um, you are, they'll be different for each person, obviously. But with like this one, as long as Black Widow attacks, every attack she does that is considered using a Black Widow ability. Same thing with like the mutants. If you bring in a whole team with mutants, you can do these 150 really quickly. With the villains, kind of the same thing. So this is what I'm going to try to bring in real fast. We'll see how these points go. When the system was kind of first going through, the matchmaking was taking a lot longer. You'll see here, this is actually a much fairer matchup, and actually, I am probably a lot more overpowered than this person. So this match is pretty much kind of scaled in my favor, which is always nice. Um, We'll go through. We got our one Black Widow attack. So Black Widow is actually, that little daily is now done. So what I think I'm going to try to do is I am going to then bring in my Groot, who is my strongest guardian, and hopefully he'll be able to maybe get maybe one or two attacks with these villains, and we can kind of start working on that milestone that way. So really kind of as the system, I mean, it's something fun to play with, I think. Um, it's a added kind of thing in the game that I don't feel is as tedious as Blitz. At least that's how I feel right now. Who knows how I'll feel about this in a week from now? But I think the thing with Blitz really was that it was just kind of very mindless. You could basically just auto the thing, and I mean, I didn't really care what happened. At least this, I mean, I guess I get some sense of achievement. I'm working towards some goals, whether they're daily, weekly, but I mean, boom, like I got all those. So, I think so far right now, I am liking this mode. I will, see how I feel kind of as it goes through. And I guess kind of how far I get through will determine whether or not I think the purchase is worth it on Mini Call, if I am going to purchase the Battle Pass. Still kind of undecided on that end. But yeah, so I mean, this has just been just kind of my initial thoughts, I guess, on Battle Pass, real time PvP. I imagine the rewards are going to kind of change every season. And yeah, so I mean, certainly curious to see how you guys are enjoying the system. Who's planning to get Battle Pass, who's not. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy with the system. It was definitely a little bit on the rougher side when the system first launched. Um, and I mean, there I just had a quick little auto win, which those actually, believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of because I was only able to get one attack. So I actually wish that person would have let me, like, you know, fully go through. But yeah, so those are just my initial talks with Battle Pass. It does look like we will also have an event type thing that'll be coming soon. So, I mean, I'll be curious to see what that's about, and I'll certainly do a little bit of an update once we get to that point. But yeah, so hopefully y'all have found this video helpful. If anyone else, I guess, is just like maybe a little bit more curious as to whether or not, I guess maybe the math behind whether or not Battle Pass being worth it, always happy to talk about that and discuss that. And as always, I mean, if there's any future videos you guys would like to see, feel free to let me know. Reach out to me on Discord at Khaleesi, in-game at any of the three accounts, Dracarys, Khaleesi, Mini Call. If you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, feel free to reach out to the Alliance leadership. Hope you're having a good one. Good luck getting up there in the real-time arena, and hope you're having a good week. Thank you so much for watching, and take it easy.